Hey guys, this is Abhishek from GadgetsToUse.com, and today we are going to compare two phones which are right now in the market for a price of approximately 25,000 rupees, and we have got a new competitor in this particular price segment which is coming from Yutopia, and this is Yutopia we are talking about. This phone has been launched recently and it is right now competing with OnePlus 2, which is already there in this particular price segment and quite popular. So in this video we are going to compare these two phones on the basis of hardware, specifications, the kind of build quality they have, camera performance they give you, and what kind of value for money you get from these two phones. Starting with the look and feel and design, both Yutopia and OnePlus 2 look very good in terms of the overall looks as well as in terms of design. Yutopia has got complete metal sheet on the back as well as on the edges, whereas OnePlus 2 has got metal on the edges and there is a sandstone cover at the back, which is also looking nice. The overall build quality is on the high side on both of them, and use of metal is quite prominent on both of these two phones. But in comparison, there is more use of metal on Yutopia compared to OnePlus 2, although OnePlus 2 feels very rigid and solid when you hold it in hand, but they have used metal on the edges. However, the weight of the OnePlus 2 is slightly higher compared to Yutopia. But overall, both of these phones have got very good quality of material being used, and both of them are sturdy in terms of the build quality. Moving on to the connectivity, at the bottom of Yutopia you see a micro USB port, whereas on OnePlus 2 you see a USB-C port, which is definitely not good because it has connectivity problem these days. Talking about the buttons, we have got metallic buttons on both of these two phones and they look very nice and they give you good amount of feedback. At the top you can see that we have 3.5mm audio jack and secondary microphone for noise cancellation on both of these two phones is present. On this side we can see that there is something new on the OnePlus 2, which is the alert slider switch, which is a different functionality altogether, whereas you don't see that button on Yutopia. In terms of design and build quality, both of these phones are very nicely crafted. They have got good use of metal, and the overall precision in terms of manufacturing is also pretty accurate. You get very good quality of material on these two phones. Talking about the camera bulge, there is some amount of camera bulge on Yutopia because of the camera part, which is slightly above the edge, whereas there is no bulge on OnePlus 2, which is definitely a better thing. And we will talk about the camera comparison of these two phones in the later part of this video. Talking about connectivity, we have got two SIM cards supported on Yutopia, whereas the other SIM card slot is actually a micro SIM, and one SIM card slot is for the nano SIM or for micro SD memory card. On OnePlus 2, however, you can insert two SIM card which has to be nano SIM. There is no support for micro SD on a OnePlus 2. Outdoor visibility is good on Yutopia and it has a special outdoor visibility mode. Once you enable it, the overall brightness of the display will be increased and it will be much more readable in outdoors as well as in sunlight, and OnePlus 2 is also quite readable in outdoor. Both of these devices have good display with good outdoor visibility. On the back side of the OnePlus 2, you have got a sandstone finish back cover, which feels slightly rough when you hold it in hand, although it will give you a very nice grip. On the other hand, when we talk about Yutopia, it has got a metal back, which feels good and smooth when you hold it in hand, and it is having a very nice finishing as well. We also compared the display clarity on both of these two phones. We compared the viewing angles. We set both of these devices displays at full brightness, and at full brightness, when we compared the white with some application, for example Google Calendar, we could notice the white is slightly different on Yutopia. It has a slight amount of yellowish tint. It is not that bright compared to the white levels which we see on the display on OnePlus 2, and you can see that in front of your screen right now. Viewing angles are good enough for both of these devices, either outdoors or indoors, but you can easily notice the difference in the displays, especially when you are looking at white screen on any of these two phones. Moving on to the fingerprint sensor, we have fingerprint sensor on Yutopia and we have a fingerprint sensor on OnePlus 2 as well. The one which is there on OnePlus 2 is there on the front at the bottom, and Yutopia had it at the back. When we tested the sensor on Yutopia, it worked 4 out of 5 times after calibration and after we reset the device, but on OnePlus 2 it was working instantly. Overall, the fingerprint sensor is pretty accurate on both of these two phones, but it does work slightly smoothly on OnePlus 2 in our experience when we compared these two devices. Overall, the fingerprint sensor does work fine on both of these devices, but it is slightly smoother and faster in terms of functioning when we compared these two devices on the basis of fingerprint sensor specifically. Moving on to the hardware, both of these devices have almost the same hardware, but the benchmark scores are slightly different. But in terms of day-to-day usage and performance, both of them perform really good. Both of them are good for gaming. Both of them are good for day-to-day tasks as well. It is all your own preference which one you would like to decide. As far as display is concerned, the OnePlus 2 offers you slightly bigger 5.5-inch display as compared to 5.2-inch display on Yutopia. But Yutopia also offers a Quad HD display, which is a high resolution display compared to Full HD display on OnePlus 2. In terms of the sensor comparison, when we compare these two devices on the basis of hardware, they are kind of equal. On the sensor front, we have more number of sensors on OnePlus 2 compared to Yutopia, but when it comes to day-to-day usage, both of these devices are fully equipped with the kind of sensors they should have, and Yutopia has good amount of sensors, enough number of sensors you would need in day-to-day usage and the overall performance. You will not face any issues on Yutopia in terms of sensor comparison if you compare it with OnePlus 2. We also compared the camera of Yutopia and OnePlus 2, and we found out good results as far as rear camera performance is concerned, and the front camera is also pretty close. OnePlus 2 and Yutopia both are good as far as rear camera capabilities are concerned. You can take very good macro shots, and these shots have good amount of color production and great amount of details in it. In terms of the camera comparison, I would like to call it a tie. Both the camera on Yutopia as well as on OnePlus 2 produce good amount of details and good colors. However, the colors are slightly different on Yutopia compared to what you see in natural. This is all we have as far as the quick hands-on comparison of Yutopia and OnePlus 2. Now to conclude my comparison, I would like to give you some good pointers of OnePlus 2 as well as for Yutopia. Let's start with Yutopia. Yutopia offers you a higher resolution display on 5.2-inch display panel. It is also light in terms of the weight, and the overall form factor of Yutopia is quite premium as well. Talking about the expandable storage, you do have expandable storage option on Yutopia, but you do not get the same on OnePlus 2. OnePlus 2 on the other hand offers 64 GB storage, but there is no memory expansion possible on OnePlus 2. However, it does give you great amount of features for the price you are paying for it. But in the overall comparison, we have found out that Yutopia is a better value for money phone compared to OnePlus 2 in the overall comparison. Camera performance is pretty close, and the overall features are good on both of these phones. This is all we have as far as the quick hands-on comparison of Yutopia and OnePlus 2. These were all the pointers which we wanted to tell you so that you can make your decision out of any of these two. In case you have any queries and questions, please leave your queries and questions in the comment section below. You can like this video. This should help you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.